probate judge at Gilmer County. This one's difficult because I have no choice but to go into some areas I don't want to go in. Okay, probate judge Anita Mullins is retiring. Okay, she is retiring. A longtime probate judge, dear friend of mine, Judge Mullins is. I've spent many election night over there and have never had somebody as accommodating to the public, the citizens, or the press in any way whatsoever on election night as Judge Mullins has been in the past. Outstanding job. And so she is retiring and moving on in her life, and we wish her well. That leaves an open seat. Now, some people wonder how important it is. What's the big deal? I've actually heard, what's the big deal about a probate judge? Okay. Now, it's a very big deal for many different reasons. You get your license there, your permit to carry there, your marriage license there, your they hear DUI cases, they hear cases in court, they probate wills, they are meeting with the families at maybe some of the most trying times and difficult times in their lives because they're going through a death with that had just occurred with a family member. So it's a struggle. Probate judge is a very large brush of responsibilities, okay? Very large brush of responsibilities. Now, I'm going to tell you now, first of all, you have two candidates. You have Josh Teague, an attorney here in Gilmer County, and you have a surveyor, Scott Chastain, okay? Again, probate judge here in Gilmer County, two great candidates, okay? I'm going to take a brief break so I could set this one up, all right? I want to set this one up. I want to take a brief break. I want to set this one up so I can come back and be very clear on all the details on this one. And then we're going to close the show today with our FBI investigation, Fannin House of Cards, Fannin Cartel. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Lottie, take us to break.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford. 50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours. Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95. And there's several more on the lot just like it. Yes, 50 trucks must go, and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings. Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
El Rey in Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Ellijay.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Better days ahead. The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We are talking about the local races here, and we're discussing the probate judge race in Gilmer County. Now, the bottom line is,
have been detained. Officers
sorry about that.
About a shooting in a parking lot outside of the Club Blue Bar.
Sorry about that. I don't know what I did there. We're talking about the probate judge race here in Gilmer County, and one of the things is you've got an attorney, Josh Teague, and a surveyor, Scott Chastain. Now, a couple facts is it's 94,000 or 98,000 unless your county has 94,000, a population of 94 or 98,000, somewhere in that area. You are not required to have an attorney as your probate judge or magistrate, I understand. But probate judge, you're not required to have an attorney. So the attorney's not necessary to be probate judge. And it has been in the past several years that there has been very effective probate judges that are not attorneys, that are not attorneys. Now, let's just say this. Josh Teague has said that Gilmer County deserves, and this is in some quotes that he has said, Gilmer County deserves what Fannin and Pickens both have as attorneys. As the probate judge, Gilmer County deserves the same thing, no less. So these are things that he has said at different debates, forums, or right here on the show as an interview. And Josh Teague has said that he will continue to practice. He will be a full-time probate judge, and that's what the question we've asked. Will you commit to the office full-time, okay? And he said yes, but he will not end his practice. He will not take his shingle down, and he will continue to enter appearances maybe or do some minor cases or whatever, not for sure. But He's committing to the office, but he's not going to take his shingle down as far as practicing attorney. Now, you understand he needs to keep his license. That would be understandable to keep his license. But, so, as Mr. Teague has brought up, Fannin County and Pickens County. So, first of all, Josh Teague is a very nice man. Beautiful family, okay? A beautiful family. You have two great candidates again this morning. Two great candidates, okay, for this position. Great family, great guy. I've gotten to know him here recently a little better. Quality person, okay? But let's look at, if he continues to practice, what it would end up being like. Now, Pickens County, the probate judge in Pickens County is David Lindsay. Now, David Lindsay ended his practice. He does not practice law any longer. David Lindsay is a full-time probate judge in Pickens County and does not practice law any longer. Now, when David Lindsay did this, he committed to the citizens to be full-time, and he is. Now, let's go up to Fannin County. Fannin County has probate judge Scott Kiker. In interviews with myself, because at that time there was several people, because they had a probate judge retiring there. Ms. Davis was retiring, and several people of his opponents in Scott Kiker's election 4 years ago said, Scott Kiker will not be a full-time probate judge. He will continue to take cases, okay? So, he will continue to take cases. Scott Kiker, I have the videos, folks. I have the videos. Scott Kiker, I interviewed him. He's now probate judge Scott Kiker. I interviewed him, and he committed to the citizens of Fannin County to be a probate judge. And he said at that time he was already working with somebody, transferring cases over to somebody else to handle his caseload as a private attorney. Okay. Well, didn't happen. Okay. So I have the video where Scott Kiker says he will be a full-time, and he is practicing. I don't know what his practice was in the past, but he is practicing. I think you could call him and hire him today as an attorney. Okay? So, Pickens County, Fannin County. Now, a couple things. Probate judges. So, Gilmer County, you have a choice, because that's what you were said. You have a choice. So, I personally went, stay with me, from Cobb County, Cherokee County, okay, Pickens County, Gilmer County, Fannin County, Union County, and Towns County. And I did all the research on probate judge Scott Kiker's cases. I went into clerk of court, and I went to all the clerk of courts, and I did all the research. I found several cases where Scott Kiker is co-counsel with Lynn Doss, which is from Dawson Doss, and Lynn Doss's husband, Harry Doss, is the public defender in the probate judge's office, which the county writes. I have the copies. The county writes the checks to Dawson Doss. But I found Scott Kiker with cases all over, from Cobb County all the way up 515, right through Union County. I found cases, several of them. So one, he's not a full-time probate judge. He has a case in Cobb County in Marietta where a couple weeks ago, I think he spent 3 full days litigating in, okay? Got a case in Cherokee County, all right? Now, the other thing is Judge Brenda Weaver, and this is way back, this is 4 years ago before there was any controversy, okay? But Judge Brenda Weaver, which is understandable, Judge Brenda Weaver had to write a recusal order for all Appalachian Judicial District judges from Scott Kiker's cases. They could not hear them. It's understandable. I can't get in the weeds on that, but it's understandable. Because he practices and he's a judge and he has other cases, they cannot hear his cases. It's a conflict. So the 3 judges in the circuit cannot hear Scott Kiker's cases. They can't do it. All right? Recusal order. What does that mean? That means that all Mr. Kiker's cases in the Appalachian Judicial District have to be heard by a visiting judge. Now, the circuit only gets so many hours and so many days a year by visiting judges. That's the way it's set up from the state. If you have much more than that, then you have to get another full-time judge, and that's a whole different kind of budget, and it's got to be worked out through legislation, I think. But anyhow, they have visiting judges. Well, the visiting judges are for the citizens that may have a conflict with some other judges and they have to recuse themselves. So they're to be used for the private citizens, the citizens that have to have a judge, but they're getting used up. A good part of the visiting judge days, Judge Christian, Judge Stone, I don't know if Judge Stone is still visiting judge, but most of the days, several of the days that are used up by visiting judges are for probate judge Scott Kiker, which they wouldn't have to if he wasn't practicing, which has in turn cost the citizens money. He's costing the citizens money by him not being able to go before the other circuit judges here and have to have a visiting judge. So reality is, probate judge Scott Kiker is actually costing the citizens money, costing the citizens time, costing issues on the court calendar in the Appalachian Judicial District, still taking private cases, and the list goes on. Okay? The list goes on. Now, down in Pickens County, okay, David Lindsay has no recusal order. Judge Weaver did not have to write a recusal order for David Lindsay as the probate judge in Pickens County because he closed his practice. No recusal order. So now, if Josh Teague is elected, Judge Brenda Weaver will probably, or should have to, if he continues to have cases in the circuit, should have to write a recusal order, okay, of all the of all the judges in the circuit from hearing his cases. Well, I can't blame this on Josh Teague. He's a very nice man. He's a great guy. So I can't blame it on Josh Teague, but it would also cause a situation where you'd have two probate judges in a very rural small district. I'm telling you, you ought to see the caseload, 5,000, 4,000, whatever. You have a very, very small district with thousands of cases stacked up, that you have visiting judges come in to try to clear the books on the calendar, but they're going to get tied up with possibly two probate judges that have to use up, not just one now, Scott Kiker, two that will be using up visiting judges' time on the court calendar. So I can't blame that on Josh Teague. It's just the reality that the judge will probably have to do a recusal order against him, and it's not his fault. I want to make that clear. Okay? If he was the only probate judge in North Georgia, it'd be different, but we have that is an attorney. That is an attorney. But we have Scott Kiker up in Fannin County. So the point is, if you can follow where I'm going with this, great candidate, Josh Teague. Josh Teague would probably do an outstanding job as probate judge. Honest guy, straight up, great family man. But if we have a probate judge that even comes close to resembling Fannin County, Gilmer County citizens, that's a bad deal. Because I'm going to look you in the camera and tell you 4 years after the fact, I have enough evidence to show that Fannin County citizens got a bad deal when it came to their probate judge. But if we go south of Gilmer County to Pickens County, and if Josh Teague would not continue his law practice or whatever, if you get a probate judge like David Lindsay, then Gilmer County citizens win because there's no conflict there. Pickens County, no conflict. Fannin County, major conflict. Gilmer County, you have a choice. Do you want to elect an attorney that's going to continue to practice to be probate judge in Gilmer County? Great guy. I keep saying it but I have to tell the citizens the facts of what could happen pending certain, Mr. Teague gets elected. But I want to look directly in this camera and tell you, Gilmer County citizens, you can't go wrong if Josh Teague becomes the next probate judge. I can say it all day long, first class guy, but I just feel compelled because of what Scott Kiker has done in the probate court office in Fannin County and what David Lindsay did in Pickens. Gilmer County citizens need to take serious this choice. Great guy. Now, Scott Chastain. He's a pastor. He is a business owner. He runs a survey business, Chastain Surveying. He's been the county surveyor for years. And he says he will be a full-time probate judge. But he is not closing his survey business. Well, that being said, if he's not closing his survey business, then who's going to run it? Well, he says he has a certified surveyor on staff that's going to run the business. Okay? Now, same with him. He says he'll be full-time. He'll commit to the probate office full-time. But he's not going to close his business. He's going to have his business out there. So, one would hope that he's going to be full-time. He is a pastor. Okay, I don't know if he's a full-time pastor or not a full-time pastor. I don't know if he pastors, a church full-time. A lot of pastors work and pastor a church, so I don't want that. That's not negative, okay? Please, that's not negative. But he's a pastor. He has that commitment to his church. He has a commitment to Chastain Surveying, and he would have a commitment to the probate office. Now, again, just like I said about Josh Teague, citizens, you can't go wrong. First class guy, first class guy, will do a great job for the citizens. Will not have the conflict. There'll be no recusal order in place. Okay? Be no recusal order in place. Won't have those kind of conflicts. But will he commit to that office full time and, not be over there running a survey business? So that is something that the citizens have to ask themselves to make that decision. Will he commit to it full time? So the probate court, you have two great candidates, very good candidates. Scott Chastain is not an attorney, okay? But the state of Georgia does send you to classes, and when they get done, they certify you as a probate judge, and it's not required to be. But he's not an attorney, okay? And he does not have a legal background. And he runs a survey business here in the county. Good guy, can't go wrong, Gilmer County. Josh Teague, an attorney. Josh Teague says experience matters. Josh Teague says sitting on the bench knowing the law is what's most important to the citizens that come before him. Quality guy. Okay. So Gilmer County, you have two great candidates. Great candidates. The only thing I would tell you is whoever you elect, whether it be Josh Teague or Scott Chastain, please make sure your probate court does not get handled like it is in Fannin County with Judge Scott Kiker. That is not going the right direction for the citizens there. That's all I have to say.